jumping in a little later. We just got back from a family function from PA, raced down or back home to try to hop on and get this hour in. Wasn't able to do it this afternoon. So we were committed to doing it today, and we are running out of time. So we're going to jump right in here and roll with the punches. I don't like to make calls later than 9 at night, especially on a Sunday. If you're just hopping on first time, we're doing 30 days of cold calling, 1 hour a day. Typically, this is done in the afternoon time, but we had a busy schedule. Want to make sure that we're going to get this in. So let's hope the technical difficulties are not present like they were yesterday. And again, the reason why we're doing this to share with you guys cold calling and getting your first deal through real estate, because one deal can change your life. So that is the goal here. Let's go ahead and enable this for everyone to see publicly. Okay, so let's go ahead, see if we can get a decent answer rate today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to load the same list that we've been calling the past week. And if we have to do a quick pivot, we'll go ahead and call some follow-ups. But for now, let's go ahead and continue. And we got some dogs barking in the background. A bit hectic, but we'll make it happen. All right. Okay, continuing the list of absentee owners, our goal is to speak to a homeowner that has a house that they need to sell. And typically when we're buying these houses cash as is, and we're buying them for investments, we're looking for those potentially motivated owners that are willing to sell at a discount, in which case we're going to go ahead and trade speed and convenience for a little bit of equity so that we can go ahead and make repairs and either resell it or rent it out for a profit. So that is the goal. Let's get underway here. First call, no answer. Let's rip through these. Still wet. It's pouring outside. This in. Hi, is this Shraga? Hi, I'm calling about a property I believe you own on Mayor's Court. I'm a cash buyer, and I'm looking for properties in the area. Just curious if you had any interest in selling. All right, first hang up. On to the next. It's going to happen. And what we would do is I would note that as not interested or do not call. And that way we could just focus on those that are interested in selling. So we'll tag that one. Let's move on to the next record. No answer. Let's keep it moving. I usually leave voicemails, but due to the time constraints, I want to get more calls in. So if you guys are interested in that, you can check some of the previous lives. Pretty simple voicemail script, just saying that I am looking for properties in the area. I believe they own property XYZ Street. And if they're interested in selling, please give me a call back. Okay, so List doesn't want to load. I encountered this yesterday. Babies are crying in the background. Never a dull moment. All right, let me just get this to load. Sometimes this happens. I'm not really sure what's going on here. All right, we're going to give that a minute to load. Again, we're doing 30 days of cold calling, 1 hour a day. And that's to get at least one deal underway. All right, so let's see if that's going to load for us. There we go. We'll have to figure that out. Hi, is this Kelly? I'm sorry, I'm looking for Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, I guess I was looking actually for the owner of property on Jackson Street. I'm assuming is that owned by a relative by any chance, or you do? Okay, I'm a cash buyer and I'm looking for properties in the area. I'm just giving folks like yourself a call to see if you had any interest in selling. The phone number? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have to check to see what happened. Do you by any chance? Okay. Okay. And if it's okay with you, could all right. It's quick to hang up there. Well, that was an interesting call. I really didn't know what to make of that. Nonetheless, I wanted to leave my number with her and then go ahead and see if maybe someone could reach out to me. But it sounds like there might be a little issues within the family there for whatever reason, if it's around a probate type scenario. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and try to re-skip that. Well, let's move on to the next. It was a little tough to hear. I wasn't really sure at first if that was just a friend or whatever. That's why I was a little caught off guard. But nonetheless, try to facilitate the conversation if possible. You never know. Maybe she would have given a number or some other information in which we could have, reached out directly to them. Nonetheless, sounds like it's still part of the family or relatives or whatever it may be. So if we can go ahead and find their number, we'll drop them a line. Good news is we're getting obviously more people on the phone. I guess it's expected on the evening, not typically cold calling. Hi, I was looking for Esther. My name's Ryan. They don't know me, but I was just calling about a property I think they own on Pennington Ave. On Pennington Ave. And well, I'm a cash buyer. I'm looking for properties in the area. Just figured I'd drop you guys a line, see if you had any interest in an as-is cash offer. That's a great question. I'm assuming you're Esther, right? Okay. Nice talking to you. My name's Ryan. I'd love to get a little more information about the property so that we could evaluate and give you a cash offer. Do you have a couple minutes, or you want me to give you a call back? Okay, great. What time do you want me to give you a call tomorrow? 2 p.m. sounds good. I'll give you a call around 2:05, 2:10. Does that sound good? Does that sound good, Esther? All right, great. I'll talk to you tomorrow afternoon. Have a great night. Okay. So typically speaking, I would obviously have screened him during that call. I want to get some more calls in. I'm going to try to set these appointments while I get these guys on the phone, and then we could have some good conversations for tomorrow. But so far, a decent answer rate. And let's keep it moving. Let's see how many of these homeowners we could talk to. All right. Let's keep plugging away. Try to make up for some lost time. Ay, ay, ay. I don't know if you guys could hear my little one is screaming in the back there. Everything all right? Everything all right? Oh. Give me a few. Crying twins in the background. That's no good. Fax number. Let's tag that. All righty. Just about 10 calls in. Appointment set for tomorrow. All right. All right. Gatekeeper software to dead numbers. It's wild. Wonder if he's a business owner or that was just a random business wrong number. Yeah, that was a first. Okay. Smart blocker, right? So I'm wondering if that's just blocking certain numbers or if they've been flagged. As you guys know, we had low answer rates. You want to make sure that your numbers, if you're calling, I guess, cell phones, are not coming up or flagged as spam. When I tested the number I'm calling from now, it didn't have any issues, at least when calling my cell phone. Alrighty. Let's keep up our streak here. Let's see if we get a couple more people. All right, we're gonna go through. Looks like every 20 or so calls, it seems like this hits some kind of issue. I'm gonna try to cycle through another round or two, and then we're gonna switch gears if we need to. This is crazy. All right, if you guys hopping on now, 30 days of cold calling, a little today. It's typically done in the afternoon. However, due to today's prior engagements, had to adjust accordingly. So still working to get this hour in. I'm ripping through these, not leaving voicemails like I usually do. Want to make sure that we get enough calls in. All right. Almost ready. All right. Bear with me, guys. Just loading this list for the third time. Third time today. I think. All right, it'll be off to the races in just a moment. Okay. See if we can continue with that without interruption. We're going to exit out of that one. And that one just sold, so we're not going to bother them. The market has sold. And on to the next. Hmm. 2 for 2. Never seen that before. Maybe it's done on the account level and any sub phone numbers. It applies that. Little bit of a lull here. It's all right. We'll keep plowing through here. Keep plugging away. 22 minutes in, couple good conversations with an appointment set or a phone appointment set for tomorrow. Would have screened them further, but it seemed they were a bit busy, and mentioned that tomorrow was a better time, so we'll call them during tomorrow's afternoon calls. All right. We're moving. We're moving. All right. Little bit of a lull here. I'm confident we'll get a couple more people before today's shift commences. No answer. So I brought the Zillow record up. I do that, during each call. That one actually showed a sale from a month ago. I kept it on because I just wanted you guys to see how you could handle that type of call. If it's a homeowner that just has one home, then obviously, hey, it's sold. Okay, fine, market as such. But other times they have other properties for sale. So we'll go ahead and inquire, hey, do you have any other properties or problem properties, ones that have or need work, have problem tenants, etc. And believe it or not, we've gotten packages that way, not just one property, but quite a few quite a few as part of the package deal. Okay, in light of the time constraints, like I said, I usually leave voicemails, but we're going to keep it moving today. All righty. Had a few answers in the beginning, a little bit of a lull here. Budanot. Budanot. Amazing. 3 for 3 on that. I'm not really sure what that is. Might be a new service blocking calls. There's been a lot of changes with the SMS as of July 5th. So we're still working on that. Wow. Must have been some changes somewhere along the line. I've never seen this many robo dialer, robo type services, call blocking, etc. Lots of no answers. This is where the dialers come into play because it'll just connect you once they answer, but not required. You just have to do a little more. Like, interesting. going to test something real fast. I'm going to call my cell phone. Curious if it's coming up for spam. So again, this is good practice. Technically speaking, you probably should do this at the beginning of each call session. We have multiple numbers, so if one was getting flagged as spam or whatnot, we can go ahead and switch that. So I'm just curious. Let's go ahead and see if this is coming up. So I'm going to call my cell phone. Let's verify this fast. No spam. I'm going to call my number. Hey, let me hang up on this. High probability of spam or whatnot, though. Could just be we had some beginner luck or luck at the beginning of today's call session. All right. I'm going to continue onward. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to go ahead and switch gears. We haven't done follow-ups just yet, and I think we may have some other prospects or some other conversations that we could share with you guys. Hopefully, getting these people on the phone. All right, so these are people that we have spoken to. We call it our Rekindle campaign. So we've spoken to them at some point over the past year. They're all at different stages. And so I'm gonna work my way from the oldest on forward. So let's go ahead. We're gonna try to filter this so just those records are populating. All right, good. 110. All right, here's our oldest one. Let's move forward from there. All right, so what I'm doing right now is there's previous chat history. There's also some notes, just like you guys would do if you're, doing follow-ups. Let's say you're just doing it through, Excel or Google Sheets. You have the property information, phone number, whatever other information you have, and then obviously notes on there. Said the follow-up in 6 months, inherited the property from his great uncle, and looking to sell anywhere from 6 to 8 months. So it's good to have that information because when you call back, they may not remember speaking to you. It allows you to kind of continue rapport forward from there. So, all right, this one has just a rekindle. I haven't spoken to them. Let's see if we can get Nancy on the phone. All right, tomorrow I'm going to save all the voicemails for tomorrow. I want to just try to get some calls in, some decent call volume. All right, on to the next. Again, I'm scanning through real fast, just seeing previous text correspondences. All right, that person said they'll call us back. That was a rather recent conversation. Okay, this guy, not his property. This should not belong here. Okay. Looks like we need a little filtering, a little admin work in our system to clear out some of the older leads that maybe are miscategorized. That way the sales agents can work efficiently. So let's try this one. Hey, is this Kathy? Hey, Kathy, my name's Ryan, and I believe we spoke to you a little bit in the past about a property you own on North Elburn Road. I'm sorry, Ave. And I just want to follow up with you. I think we spoke to you, like I said, 3 or 4 months ago, and you were looking to sell like 2 to 3 months, and you are going to keep it. Okay. You don't by any chance have any other properties that might be available, do you? Yeah, gotcha. I mean, anything in Jersey? I do buy in various parts. Anything central Jersey, northern Jersey? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. If you don't mind, just keep my number handy in case things change. We're looking, always looking for properties. All right. Sounds great, Kathleen. Have a great night. Okay. So, in that type of scenario, I would still plug it in to follow up in a year. Hey, I know when we spoke last, you decided to keep the property. However, we're still buying properties in the area, and just curious. Hey, did you change your mind? At the end of the day, a lot of different things could happen. We're well overdue for a market crash, and who knows if something changes with the market drastically? You never know how people's lives change. So unless she was saying, "Hey, listen, we're keeping this forever. Please don't ever call us again." But she seemed pretty easy to talk to, and I think that she would probably and have a welcoming conversation a year from now, just following up. So okay, on to the next one. All right, cool. So this guy said try later this summer. Let's see what we got. Make sure it's not listed. And let's see. He actually did sell it. So here we go. Case in point. Touch base with this seller a year ago. Said try later on. We weren't able to get a hold of him. Our last text message was April of this year, and his property sold May of this year. So if we were better with our follow-ups, maybe we're integrating a little more calls with in between with the texts, we may have been able to get that before it hit the market and sold. So we'll go ahead and update that. Nothing worse than losing out on a property which you had a conversation with a homeowner, and your lack of follow or whatever it is, an issue on your end, you know, prevented you from closing that deal. So we'll have to work on our follow-ups. Now, again, that we started with this system a year ago, so we've made a lot of improvements. But it's always important to see, okay, hey, how can we make our workflows better? How can we make our systems more efficient? Always looking to make improvements, and especially when we're losing, we're missing out on properties like that, a failure or mistake on our end. Okay, that may have been a wrong number. Person we have listed here said Boone. Didn't sound like a Boone. All right. Hello? Hey, is this Julio? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for Julio. Aviles, mate, the owner of the South Olden Ave property. I'm guessing that's the older one. I'm sorry. What is it? My name's Ryan, and I think I spoke to either Julio Senior. I think it was Julio Senior. Okay, I think we spoke a little over a year ago. about your property on South Olden, and just wanted to follow up with you, see if you had any interest in selling. We're still looking for properties in the area. Your son has it. Oh, okay. Last we spoke, though, you said you had 3 properties. Do you have any others that might be available? No, huh? You sold them already? You're giving it to your kids. Okay. No worries. I can appreciate that. Well, it was good talking to you. I'll note that on my end. If anything changes, Julio, do me a favor. Give me a call at this number. We're actively looking for properties, and I anticipate we'll be looking. All righty. All right. Sounds good, Julio. Have a great night. Okay. That was a little tough to hear, but nonetheless, I'm trying to read through the messages while I'm, on the phone with him and whatnot. But again, notice how we try to maximize each call. Hey, that particular property is going to my son. Okay, great. Oh, wait, I noticed that you had other properties. Who knows? Maybe one of those may have been vacant for years, and maybe he gave up on it, figured it was going to go back to the town from back taxes, whatever it may be. But all righty. Let's keep it moving. Let's see how much time we got left. Got about 20-ish minutes. I don't like to call. You know what? I don't like to call beyond 9 o'clock, guys. I'm going to have to make up the additional 10 minutes tomorrow. But I did want to make sure that we at least got this in. I had the wifey racing home so we can get on here and make sure that we meet our 30 consecutive days of cold calling. So let's try to get a couple more in before we sign off. And this one just sold in June. So we're going to mark that as sold. And move on to next. So typically speaking, you will get more people to answer the phone in evening time, after dinner, or they're in, and obviously on weekends. I used to door knock specifically on weekends, knowing that the people would most likely be home. All right, so let's see. Let's check this one out. All right. Boom. I lost my rhythm there for a sec. All right. Free. Again, I do leave voicemails, as you guys have seen, but I don't want to waste too much time. We got off to a late start today, so I'm going to try to get in some more calls. Hi, William available, please? Sure. My name's Ryan. I'm sorry. Yes, please. I was actually just following up with him. We spoke a little while ago about a property you guys own on Holland, and I just wanted to follow up to see if you had any interest in selling. No worries. Okay. Well, no worries. I'd love to have a conversation with him. We're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, if now's not the best time, 6 months, a year, that's not a problem. No, I guess you didn't want to hear a phone number to call back. Interestingly enough, I was trying to get the phone number that I'm calling from. I don't know if that changed or not. So, all right. I don't know if she was waiting for me to talk more or whatnot, but we could follow up with them. Doesn't sound like major motivation, but in my opinion, it's worth a follow-up call. Speak with the decision maker, find out, you know, any potential motivation there. Let's see. We got 6 minutes till 9. See, we get another handful of calls out. Good news is we have a better answer rate. And again, that was the reason for keeping metrics, is that we can go ahead, basically take all the data and see, okay, where is our marketing efforts best spent? So besides seeing where, certain lists, potential motivated sellers may yield the most best results. Also, when you're calling, when you're texting, what times are best, what times are worst. All right. Hey, Sharon. Hey, this is Ryan, and I'm just following up with you. We spoke, oh wow, a little bit, looks like a year ago, about your property on Chase Street, and I was just following up to see if you had any interest in selling. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, maybe I spoke to somebody. Oh, okay. Nonetheless, we did speak to her. I'm looking at the text messages now, unless it's a shared phone number, which I don't think so. And again, this just goes to show you that obviously she doesn't remember, but we're looking at an outbound call of October of 2022, and first correspondence was October 25th. Sorry, that was October 28th. First correspondence was October 25th. A couple of text correspondences. All right. Well, didn't get here at the right time, so we will just move on to the next. Now, obviously, a suggestion. I'm kind of running around like crazy here. If you're doing this, you probably want to take a look in more detail instead of kind of doing it on the fly. I just want to get more calls in for you guys, but the reality is you want to make sure that you have that information that you can, respond with rather quickly. So it'll decrease the amount of times you get hung up on. All right, here's one. Let's see. This might be the last one or two more we'll get. I was hoping I'd get him on the phone. It looks like he had the beginning correspondence was saying, "Hey, give me a call," and then somewhere along the line we didn't continue conversation. So that would have been a good way to re-enter that one. So, all right, let's try one more here. Let's see if Robert here. No, no, not Rob. We're gonna try. All right. One last call for the evening. Let's see what we got. Alrighty. I was going to leave one last message or a message for our last call. So Let's see if we can get some metrics really quick. Had a couple conversations. We do have one follow-up call for tomorrow. We'll gauge his motivation and just see how many calls we were able to get in just by hammering through real fast, not really leaving any voicemails, just to give us an idea from the previous week. So far, it's been roughly around the 40-ish, 45 on average phone calls an hour. Obviously, if you're having longer conversations, that will decrease. But again, we use this as a baseline just so we can use that metric to see, okay, are we in line with, the amount of calls necessary in order to get that deal. So let's see the reporting before we sign off. I believe we're probably around the same. So here we go. One thing to mention about the metrics, I've been in business since 2006. I've been doing the real estate full time since 2009. And I could say probably just within the past few years, I've gotten really serious about metrics. Now, the reason why we didn't do it in the past is, well, I didn't really have, I don't want to say a reason to, but we couldn't even keep up with the marketing efforts that we were doing through direct mail and whatnot. So, the hot leads per se, we're having difficulty keeping up with them. So it didn't really make sense to keep metrics. As the market changed and leads became harder and harder to obtain, then we said, okay, let's get more dialed in. We may be fishing in a pond that's completely saturated and wasting a ton of marketing dollars when we can make a quick pivot and focus on another pond where it's not saturated and we could focus more money on a smaller subset, let's say. So that's when this, obtaining metrics really became a focus for the company. And in which case, a lot of the lists that we obtain are not your most popular or saturated lists, your niche lists, and have had good success with that. So again, by having some data to use, data gives direction. This will go ahead and it'll give us good insight as to where we should focus the upcoming weeks or months. So we got out just 39 calls this evening, total call time of 8 minutes. Okay. We actually started a little bit late. So again, right around that 40-ish mark seems to be a benchmark for us. So join me tomorrow. We are starting week number 2, and we're going to continue onward with our, 25, or actually, no, it'll be 23 days left to continue our cold calling, an hour a day, to land our first or a lot of case, or a deal. But for a lot of you, it'll be your first deal. What could that one deal do, or how much impact could it have on your life? For many people, it'll be a life-changing experience. So that is the goal. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you tomorrow in the afternoon, making same calls and talking to more motivated sellers. On that note, enjoy your Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow.